Hi, hello, and welcome. This is going to be the first ever D&D actually on my channel. So, hi, this is something new. This is my wife, Rachel. You've met her before. No, you
Well,
haven't.
there's that one video that I did.
You really haven't. She had a mask on, so she looks, yeah, totally different. You got her cat at her feet, licking her legs and attacking us. So if that continues, you will see it. This is a D&D that I have tried to put together for many years. This is a test run, so again, the idea is it's an RPG still, because that's the type of stuff I roll. Get it? Now, I know a lot of people have done this before. I went looking online to see if anybody's actually pulled this off. There's a lot of people who've tried and made variations based on, like, Dead Nation. There's an online website called Dead Nation. They go through. And I admittedly took the chef and the doctor mechanics and the ideas from that game, but everything else is it's mine. I made it. It's a zombie campaign, and for those of you who knows this reference, the name of the campaign, the group of one-shots, we call it Bombs and Zombs. If you don't know that reference, it is Black Ops 1, probably the only reference to that game that I'll probably ever make. Ronald Reagan throwing a bomb through the window, and he goes, "Bombs from the Zombs!" And then, without further ado, and it's long overdue.
Did you do one like 10 years ago?
Yeah, I did one 10 years ago. I was only but 14 years old, and we lived in the town of Corsicana, and it was kind of a bust. I never played actual D&D, so I didn't have a concept. I just created pen and paper, let's play an RPG, and the RPG was horrendous. It was full of so much cheating and so many, like, relaxed everything. It was just absolutely ridiculous.
This one should be a lot harder and a lot more exciting. It's my first ever zombie campaign. I've played other campaigns that were like medieval type, and I've never played time-based turns. So this is gonna be interesting.
So I'm gonna talk a little bit about this before we start it, and then I'm gonna actually start this. The D&D itself is, like I said, an RPG. A lot of the ones I make will be not the exact D&D premise. You know, you got actual D&D where you have to worry about shit falling apart. Your gear, you have to sleep, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's so based on real life, it gets kind of, to me, dreary and old. It's fun and energetic, but you can't introduce new people to that concept. You know, you tell them, hey, you can't be running into there. This is just a game. You got to worry about your life, man. You haven't slept in 3 days. I don't know when the last time you had a dinner. They're going to look at you like, this is nothing like Skyrim. This is nothing like any RPG I played. And this is a bit too real. So, that being said, things have been dumbed down to admit, and so will the other ones that I've done to a degree. You will get debuffs for things not being sharp. You do get debuffs for not sleeping. You do die from not sleeping, but you get plenty of warnings from me telling you, hey, you really need to focus on rest. I built a system called Alertness. And I'm giving homage to a guy named John Titsworth down south. He created a D&D campaign where we were focused on stress. I figured I would take a sort of similar concept and construct it to alertness based on if your character is actually alert enough to notice things. If he's tired or exhausted, your number starts to drop. But good old Miss Rachel over here, she has picked a firefighter, female by the name of Sanguine Rose. There you go, everybody. I was just talking about it.
I'm hoping that you know where that's from. If you don't, then I'm sorry.
She is a brute of a woman, standing at 8 feet tall and Mondo Muggle.
I don't know about that.
She's your average, like, six footer. Big bone, big bone. She's a Hulk of a woman, and she can easily bring down her male counterpart to go along with her. But she has a sentimental side. Okay, tidbit about me.
Miss P. Oh God.
You've done it. She's Mrs. P. A tidbit about me, something you don't know, is that I dated a Patterson, and my neighbor was Patterson. My name is spelled P-A-T-I-S-O-N. I'm Pattison. It's an Irish name. Same thing with Patterson, but it's a pet peeve. You know, you date somebody who's a Patterson, and they call you Patterson, and you immediately have your skin crawl.
Calm down. Let's begin.
All right, so it is a typical day in your brotherhood. You're with your men at the firehouse. You're in your own separate area. And you hear the alarms go off, and you hear good old Bill. He comes running out there, and yeah, Bill's my standard guy every time. Hey, it's time for us to go. We got the alarms going off. It is your turn to go out. I'm not going out this time. His friend Jack comes up to him and goes, "Hey, don't be hard on her. She can kick your ass. So let's go. Let's go now. You, me, everybody, go." And they're like, "But it's not my turn here," Bill complained. And you both, and all of you, jump, as you know, you fully dressed yourself. You jump onto the fire truck and you slam out the door. All right. So now you're driving. You have the opportunity to ask the Bill who's sitting next to you. Jack is driving. You got four of the guys you actually don't know very well in the back because this is like basically a 90% guy team. There's very little women there, and most of the women were out that day.
What was the call about?
There seems to be some smoke and the third store duplex. His home is having some weird noises, and they were already about to call us. They were calling us in, already complaining about noises upstairs. And there was a slight fire upstairs where they smell smoke. There's no sign from the outside that there's anything at all, but hey, they call, they send the firemen.
Okay, and where is this?
It's exactly 6-7 block. You know where it is. You kidding me? Look at the address. You live right there. I mean, like, you could practically walk from there to your home.
I guess it's Mr. Pennyworth
Mr.
house.
Pennyworth house. This is going to be fun already. Mr. Pennyworth, yes, you know Mr. Pennyworth. I would call him Mr. Pinch Penny, but he's your Pennyworth.
That's his nickname.
Oh, there we go. That's even better. So, Mr. Pennyworth, old Pinch Penny there. Yeah, he's your neighbor, and he's actually not that far away from there. Yeah. Well, you've arrived there. That was probably your only quick time event you're going to have to worry about. So you got a conversation in there, learned out. So everybody, you jump out of the vehicle, and your two of the other four guys, they start unraveling the hose, and they're waiting for your word to douse the place just in case it grows out of hand. You see another grab the ladder and stack to the top to the second floor window that you see was busted open. So you get another police officer, a firefighter, and the firefighter goes running up the ladder and goes into the window. You see some residents run out, and they start talking about the noises they were hearing immediately with another firefighter who run up, asked what was going on, and they started talking it over. Well, now you, Bill, and you, because y'all are the usual do. You and him usually go in, and he gives you hard times about everything. Bill sits there and goes, "Hey, I think it's your time you pulled the weight this time around."
Okay.
So he hands you the fire extinguisher, and he's like, and he grabs himself that's a hook. It's that fire safety hook that they do to get into like attics and such. He's like, oh, I gotta get rid of some squirrels, or call pest control, see what's in there. He's like, you can take care of the whole smoking issue. If it's a smoker, you have my complete permission to just douse the person in it. I mean, I'll just pretend the pin already popped out. So you go inside this building, and there's people in the congregation down below, and the stairs go up in a spiral staircase all the way to the top, sort of like quarantine.
And let's ask the residents like what they heard, why they called.
This guy who's like jittery goes, heard some noises, man. Noises upstairs. Bill just looks at him and goes, bet you did.
What did you hear?
Just scratching. Lots of scratching. Scratching.
Was there any screams? Like anything other than scratching? Anything that would make you think that something was wrong?
Smoke.
You didn't.
Scratching and smoke. Looks like somebody up there is going full on Eskimo and starting a fire up there, man.
You didn't think about that.
I don't know what to think.
Okay, well, this case seems pretty clean. Let's go ahead and go up there.
Right, Bill's like, you can just choose to go thank when you need it. Hey, God, yeah, you should probably get a guy over here. Call the police. So, as you rush up, are you rushing up the stairs, you're walking up the stairs, you're jogging up the stairs? Okay, so you start sprinting up these stairs. Roll an athletics check. I'm just kidding. So you start running up these stairs, and you get to the third floor door. Now the door is closed, and you can immediately tell that it was just a normal door, no padlock, maybe a little chain on the inside. Don't know, but you can see smoke coming out from the side of the door. All right, Bill looks at you, goes, gas mask. Hold on his mask, and you ready your fire hydrant, right? Okay, so approach the door. What do you decide to do?
I like use the fire hydrant as like a.
You hit the door. Roll your dice, d20, for a strength check because you're trying to hit the door open. This is a great way to start this off.
Well, I got like
You get a +3. That's a 6. So she rears back and she hits the door with the fire extinguisher. And Bill just looks at her like, "Are you kidding me?" He starts laughing and he's like, "Maybe my friend was wrong about you kicking my ass." And he reaches forward to open the door, and all of a sudden the door goes boom from the inside, and you hear.
And I say, "Whoa, back up, back up."
Remember,
We don't know what's going on here.
out of game knowledge, you know it's a zombie.
No, you're doing bath salts. Maybe they're really strong.
Okay, so you advise Bill to back up. Bill's just like, okay. Ma'am! Sir! Somebody! You okay in there? The most professional firefighter ever in existence. All you hear is. And then it goes fully quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you reached over. The door is open, but was never locked. The room is smoky and hard to see. Now, you and him are both standing in the way, and he is going to do a perception check for you. Like he doesn't see anything. The goggles reduced it severely. He's blinking. He's like fanning it out, trying to do everything he can to get better vision, but he can't make out a single other thing.
Okay.
Right. Your gas mask, you get a -4, but you
11.
got 12. You looked forward, and it wasn't you couldn't see too much, but you can see that the room is now completely empty. The smoke is coming from what looks like somebody has started like a giant pack of incense and set it up on fire for some reason, and the smoke from the whole place was from the original packaging and everything burning along with it.
There's incense burning. Do I see the person?
The room is completely clear as far as you can see.
It's like it's gonna walk in slowly.
You're walking in slowly, Bill just jumps ahead. You're taking a long time. He goes in, he sees the fire. He's like, "Put it out!" And he's like, "You know what? It's not even that big deal." He knocks it on the ground, goes, "Stomp, stomp, stomp," knocks it out, pulls out this like little handkerchief thing, it's fire retardant, and he just goes and puts it out. He's like, "See, no need to waste the money." So this has not been used. Once this is used, you have to use it up within one game play. So by the next time you play, if you have it, it's no longer charged. So Bill just walks right into there, takes care of the fire issue, and opens a window. Goes open a window up. The smoke just immediately starts rushing out. And it's a white smoke. It's instant.
Well, I thought that there was a window already broken.
That was the second floor. This is the third.
It wasn't anything more.
No, there was nothing more in there.
Now the fire's open, window's open. Look around, see if there's anyone in there.
Okay, so roll perception.
God.
So.
I can't wait till the new guys come in.
Yeah, I know, right? So the smoke is starting to clear, everything's starting to get a little better. But, unfortunately, it doesn't look like you can make out anything in this room. So Bill moves forward and himself starts to look, and he doesn't make, all we're just doing more of it. We need new dice. We bought new dice, they're coming in, bye-bye, cursed piece of shit.
Yeah, new dice, they're fixed to fail.
They've been used so many times, and our natural bad luck has rubbed off on the point that we never
I
even
normally get high rolls. My rolls have always been like 14 to 20. I've never got anything.
My rolls are usually 1 through 7.
So I yell out, hey, is anyone in here? Does anyone need help?
Ooh, that was smart. So, you hear scratching in response to your voice, and it's in the laundry room. With the layout of the building, you have the box room, you just came in through here. You've been able to see everything in here to an extent. Over here there's a bar, and it has a kitchen, and there's supposedly is another room right there that you see clothes hanging outside the room. So you can assume it's a laundry room. Yeah, exactly!
So the scratching is coming from the laundry room?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, Fez.
So I guess I just sort of rush over there.
Okay, so
See
you
what
run
the noise is.
So you run to the noise, and Bill follows you pretty closely behind. That's an unusual for me. So you get into the room, and you see this lady. She's hunched over. Her hair is very oily and sickly looking, and you know, look at our pretty cat. Look at him. Isn't he great? Except he never wants to spend time with us until we're on recording. Please go. So she's hunched over. She's sickly looking. She's making a wheezing sound, very lighter than what she was earlier, and she's scratching at the floor in front of her in her own vomit. So she's scratching at it. She was scratching to the point her fingernails were starting to come off and her fingers were bleeding.
So me not knowing that it's a zombie, because I'm like, that's just, fiction.
Well, at this point, you have reason to believe she's mentally insane.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like, carefully like, ma'am?
Moving forward any at all?
Like, I just sort of like lean forward like, ma'am, can you hear me?
Bell just grabs her shoulder and goes, and he just leaves his hand there. Okay. The lady goes, and then you hear a cracking sound, and she doesn't respond.
Crack.
Like when she went like that, she doesn't respond, but she's still breathing. And, yeah.
So, I think we should go back.
Okay. So you hear, well, roll a d20. I need to see if you can hear this. Okay. So 14. 19. 14. We need better dice!
We need some
Fuck!
bingo dice that are like this big.
We need it was like $20 a piece, but hey, can't argue with that number. Kitty, you're so amazing! So you, rolled a good enough number for me. You hear, and Bill, that's good enough for me, notices Bill notices the lights in the outside, the police have arrived, and you hear the sirens as they're pulling up, and you hear them barging through the door. The police come rushing up immediately to the floor and do not even hesitate. They come running in there, and as they run in there, they tell you and the other man to leave immediately. Bell he's not the type of guy to just be like, yeah, whatever, everything's fine. So Bill is like, whoa! State ordinance declares that we're in here, we're part of the investigation. This is not a murder investigation, we're here for their welfare. Basically, we don't want to leave you alone, is basically what he's saying. This police officer came up by himself, it's just him.
Oh, okay, so just one person.
Yes. It's like, we're not going to leave you alone with this lady. We're already concerned for her. We think she might be a little unstable. And the doctor goes, this lady is a scientist from a laboratory, and it's under a murder investigation right now. And yes, I have the right to get you out of here. So if you don't leave right now, I'll take you in for obstructing justice. So Bill's like, okay, fine.
I guess I'll tell Bill, like, let's leave. But we just want to hang out.
You would have to tell the police officer that, and you would have to roll persuasion. He's clearly made his position. That means leave completely. So then you have to be sneaky.
Well, I mean, I tell him that we're going, and we go. He tells us to go. But I sort of want to take my time.
Okay, so you want to take your time. That's a good enough reason. Except for he's getting pissed because you've already argued. So if you want to, go ahead and roll a charisma roll and tell him, hey, if you don't want us in here, roll again. I can't tell what it was either.
6 + 1. Are you sure you don't want to take my 7?
I'll take your 7, not 2. So you plead to him to just let you understand that he's that you just want to hang out by the door. There's something wrong with this lady. She assaults people and she's known for murder. One police officer alone is not going to be enough. And he pulls out his gun, points it at her, and says, like, I got this under control. But okay, so he is understanding. But he tells you just wait outside the door. If anything happens, you may come in, rush in. I'm going to hold her for questioning. I've already called him back up. You see him pull his walkie-talkie and he talks to me a little bit. So we're going to stand outside the door? Okay, we're going to stand out the door. This is a warning of a quick time event. From this point forward, and for anybody who watches my videos, when I bring my hand up like this, while I'm talking, that means I've started it's about to be a quick time event, and when I'm done talking and I snap my fingers, that means the quick time event is officially started. And in that time, you are forced to make decisions as quick as possible, because the decisions are going to be
life and death.
Pretty important. So, you're standing outside the door. And I mention this now because I don't know when my next quick time event is actually going to be. So, you stand outside the door and you hear the police officer say to the lady, ma'am, sit down. Ma'am? Ma'am! And then you hear people scream downstairs because of gunshots. You hear something on the second floor, you hear somebody screaming downstairs too, but it sounds like they're in pain more than anything else. On the third floor, you hear a body drop.
Like the shot. Can I ask, is everything okay in there?
The officer does not reply back. Well, he doesn't reply back. The room is still full of smoke. It's starting to air out. Video perception check if you wish.
Come on, Dice, don't let me down.
-4 for the gas. You don't see anything at all. It is pitch dark in that room. Night starting to actually descend. The lights were turned off. You see Bill reach for the lights, and he grabs the light switch, and the lights come on. There's a secondary switch that he flicks to turn on the ceiling fan, and it started blowing, things around better, getting cleared out. You see the body of the woman laid out, with 2 bullets in her chest, and the police officer sitting against the wall, just with his hands in his head, gun on the ground, freaking out.
Okay, and the police officers.
Very rookie. She's laid out on her back, 2 gaping holes in her chest. She's just laying, presumably dead. You can see the blood seeping out. The blood that's seeping out looks slightly black, like ink. That gets Bill's attention. Bill just gets a little closer to her and goes, "That's fucking gross."
I noticed that the blood is a little unnatural, and I'm just like, well, that's different. Maybe we should call it the paramedics.
And the police officer's like, "Already called in for an ambulance." And he's still in shock. You see him go to pick his gun up. There's screaming going down the second floor now, but it's, again, not normal screaming. It's like anger and pain.
Okay, well, I'll be like, since you have everything under control here, we're going to go see what's downstairs. If that's okay with you.
He looks up, fine, whatever you want to do. He just starts cleaning the gun. You see him take out a rag and start wiping it. He's panicked. He's a rookie. He never expected that to shoot the person.
Well, he probably shouldn't have come up on his own since he's a rookie. Okay, so we leave the guy, the police officer, sitting in shock. We think that everything's under control because, I gave knowledge. And, so we go downstairs. Is the stairs fine?
Yes, there's nothing wrong with the stairs. It was just incense burning that they people noticed.
We'll go downstairs to the second floor and we try to find where the source of the scream is coming from. Do I do a perception check for that?
Yes, please.
8, 16.
So you hear that it's coming from 2A.
Okay. We knock on the door, ma'am. Ma'am, is it in there? Everything okay in there?
Screaming stops completely. Bill reaches to check the door. The door is locked. Bill, being the guy, sits back, raises his foot, and he kicks. And does a decent enough job that the door opens up, but it catches on the chain. So it comes open. But there's a face waiting right there where the door came open, and it's just going. And it starts wheezing. And it just does this.
Tell them we have any weapons or anything.
You have your axe, and
I
a portable fire the portable one is hooked at your waist right now.
Okay, so I'll be like, back up. We need to get inside. We need to be able to help. Back up.
It just stares. And it stares. Bill just goes, "Yo!"
Didn't we call for backup?
Got it, come back. Police officer did. You're still waiting for it. He's still waiting for it.
The police officer.
Yes.
I thought we called for backup.
No one called it in. You're in. Police officers show up.
Okay.
But after the
I'm going to call for more of our friends to come. Whoever we can, get
Okay,
come
so
up,
John-
and I'm going to use my fire extinguisher to like break.
Okay, now this fire extinguisher isn't a full-size fire extinguisher. It's one of those little mini
One of
ones
those
you get at
little
like
red
apartments.
Yeah.
It's like the little red ones that are just tiny and
I'm going to
clamp
do
on
a
it.
strength check.
So you're just going to hit it with your shoulder?
Well, I mean, whatever opens the dang chain.
Okay, this is just a chain, so just roll a strength check against it. So you start to rear back to hit the door, and you notice that she does the thing. I haven't even determined its gender yet, and it goes, stumbles away. And you hesitate for a second, but BAM! Knock the door open. Okay, so you step in this room, all the lights are out. It is incredibly dark, but there's a broken window and a little sunlight coming into the room. Since this, yes, you can try to reach, see if they turn on. So the lights do come on, but you can see a couple of the bulbs have already been busted. So some light comes into the room, and the girl or woman you had just seen is no longer to be found.
And she's the only person.
She's the only person in that room. There's no blood, there's nothing, there's not even blood on the floor. Nothing. It's a trash bedroom, and the person's gone. From what you can see, because you're standing in the doorway. You knocked it open, boom!
If someone walk in, 11.
So you walk in, and you are immediately grabbed by a zombie, or by the lady. She throws you against the ground, and she starts raising her hands up, and she starts slashing.
Okay, so I'm going to take my fire extinguisher. So it's not.
Okay, so you reach your strength check. 6 plus 2 plus 1, you got a 9. So you lob this at her and you hit her, and she just yelps, but then she just immediately comes back and just backhands you. And she swings at you, but she misses. Her hand hits the side of the ground, and she brings her claws back up, because that's what they become. They're like sharp.
And, like, pick her.
Okay, so go for it. Roll quickly. Okay, so you rear back and you get your leg in between her and you go, ugh, and you kick her. She actually leaves the earth for 4 feet and lands on her back, and then she twitches a few times and then she stops moving.
Okay, what's Bill
Quick time event is officially over. Bill is just like, this all happened within a second. So he's over there, he's just like, and he takes that hook thing that he had and he turns it around because it's got a big wooden base on it, and he's just like, and walked over to her and was just like, and kicked her once, just to see if she's okay. And then she went over to you and he helps you up. The minute he helps you up, you hear, I shot you! I shot you! And then you hear another couple gunshots go up and a resounding crunch upstairs. The people in the lobby are now starting to run. They're leaving. The other people that were going to be able to help you, like John and them, the guy that was there, you called John up there too, he immediately had to go back down. He had to go handle now there's hysteria. There's other police officers coming in now. They responded to the call, and they're asking where they're trying to get everybody calmed down. They're going to run upstairs. They've heard the gunshots. But right now, they're trying to get the people under control because the people they're panicking. They don't want it to leave the building in a panic.
Okay, so they're not outside, they're just downstairs in the first floor.
Yes, they're in the little lobby right now. The police officers are about to start coming up.
Like quarantine.
Yes, like quarantine. Unfortunately, the firemen start off as like quarantine.
Okay, so,
Everybody else's start off is uniquely
Okay,
different,
so-
but theirs is based off quarantine because it needs to be harsh. But you're not going to be quarantined.
so the police officers are coming upstairs.
They're about to be.
Okay, so, I guess I have,
Let's see how long it takes to get the groups to do. Okay, so they'll be up pretty short.
okay, so we basically get up and lean over this girl thing. And, I'm just like, what the fuck? What's wrong with people? What's happening?
And the police officer looks up, sees you, and immediately he attacks three people. Now, these three of the people are in riot gear. They're full on riot geared up, and they come up there and they tell you, they look at the lady on the ground, and they look at you two, and they go, "Where's Officer Jensen?" Pick the random name, Jensen Ackles, Jensen. That's all I was going for.
He's upstairs.
Gunshots were not here. They were upstairs. Okay, so they immediately left you went upstairs.
Well, they just left me with his body.
They're not concerned with it. They're for the murder investigation. There's hysteria going on, and there's multiple gunshots. They see you with the body. You're firefighters. You can handle the job. You're also part-time paramedics by their regard. You just know how to set somebody over so they don't die. So Bill's already in the process of doing that. He's got them laid over, put them in the ready position, so if they throw up, they don't suffocate on anything on their own, and she's puking. So she's the woman they all knocked out, so to speak. He's put her in the ready position. She's just puking, but she's not choking on it anymore. And he's standing right next to her, like he's supposed to.
Okay, is there anything in the apartment that I can use to bind?
Want to bind her? Okay. So you start to look for,
Rope or belt or something?
yes.
Perception check?
You would need to do a perception check and tell me which room you're looking in. You can take the gas mask off now, so you can stop.
Yeah,
So
gas mask.
you can just write off, and you can just erase the off, whatever you want it on.
Okay, I guess I'll just look in the master bedroom.
Okay. So you're going to the master bedroom, you're looking for some kinky shit. So if you're looking in there, you find some bags with white powder in it. This is the guy that like jittering down there. It's like his wife, so to speak. And
Sounds narcotics.
yeah, Bill's like, really? I wouldn't have guessed. You managed to find and roll a scavenging check
3.
plus your modifier for scavenging.
Oh, 5. So that's 8, 9.
So 9. You find what looks to be a slightly broken pair of handcuffs that have been used one too many times. They're clean, if it means anything. But it looks like they had jammed a key in it and the key had broken into it, so they come open pretty easily.
Okay, I'll keep looking to see if there's like a belt. Like I'll look in.
Okay, so you're gonna go like to the closets or
I'm
something.
gonna go to like the dresser drawer and see if there's like a belt.
Okay. Roll another scavenging check. Roll again.
9.
Roll again.
What was a 9?
You rolled a 3 the last time.
Yeah.
This dice only rolls 3s.
3. Rolls 3s. 18.
Okay, so you find a very sturdy belt inside,
Okay, I like
along with a scarf and 2 other material that can be used combining if you wish.
Okay, well I'm gonna take the 30 belt to bind her, and I'm going to, if it's okay, take the other stuff and put it in my pocket, my inventory for.
Okay, so you're taking a fabulous scarf. You didn't take the hint. That's just fabulous.
Bad scarf.
So you hear the police officers up there now, yelling at this lady, "Ma'am! hear gunshots. And not just gunshots, I mean like machine guns. Alright? You hear some things on the bottom floor. You hear people groaning downstairs. You hear the lady in the other room start to make a noise. Belle gets down to her to get her to calm down, everything's fine. And then you hear Belle scream. You're in another room, you can't see it.
Oh, I run.
You see the lady had bit him right across his hand.
Wrist.
Yeah, his wrist. His hand. This is now your hand. This is not your hand, everybody. You fap with this. And he pulls his arm back and he immediately just like holds it for a second and then he just like fucking punches her out. I mean, just like, BAH! Let's see if it even hits. So yeah, he punches her fucking clean out. Just smack! Knocks her out. And he just fucking grabs his wrist and this is so your character notices. You notice that they respond differently getting struck in the head than they do anywhere else. You see him grab his wrist, and he goes to like this little thing, and he pulls up this little like bandaging, and he goes starts wrapping it up, and he's there, and he goes, okay, the police are here, paramedic, and you see him just starting to leave. He's going down. But before he goes down there, you see him stop at the lobby, and he goes, hey, Rose, you might wanna come look at this.
Okay.
So that lady is knocked out.
Okay.
So I don't know how long it'll stay that way, but she is knocked out.
Can I like hog tie her?
If you wish to, go for it. I'll roll to see if she wakes up. All right. Now, I'm not gonna tell you that was good or bad yet. You gotta make your decision.
Okay, well, I want to hog tie her.
Okay,
She
so you're
obviously woke up twice.
Okay, so you use the belt or the scarf?
The belt. So I wanted to ask you if the belt was long
Yes, the belt is definitely long enough. She's very friendly.
enough.
So you go to hog tie her up. Roll to see if you do an amazing job tying it up.
Okay. 5, 6.
6. So you have a moderate hold on her.
Okay.
You hog tied her up decently, not amazingly, but decently.
Up to him, like, what?
Okay, so roll a perception check.
Oh.
Really, that looks like
It's an 11 plus 1.
No, I mean it's just
Oh, yeah.
we need
The
new
light.
dice. So you notice immediately that the police officer down there are like batoning 4 or 5 what used to be civilians, and they're flowing from their mouths and everything, and they're just trying to keep them down. And you hear screams outside now, and you're hearing the residents in the corner that are like normal looking. They're like in the corners like terrified now because all of a sudden those people start attacking. And you see a riot guy guard gets knocked off of the banister from the 3rd floor, and he falls all the way down. You see 2 of your firefighting buddies grabbing their throats against the wall down there. At this point, it looks like things are getting out of hand. You got another officer in the back who is one of the squad leader. He's calling in more backup at this point, explaining what's going on. Is an unknown something. You could roll to see if you hear him.
Oh, it was going to be a 20. That's a bull.
And it dropped on a 2, so you don't really. That's fucking bullshit. These dice really are telling us to bite a big one. So you don't really hear anything at all from him, but Bill is listening intently as well, and he rolls a 19. So he hears an unknown infection is spreading. He hasn't seen this before. It's causing people to do stupid things. They're attacking for no reason. They're not stopping. You guys, I have officers here beating these others to death, and they're still getting up. Nothing seems to be holding them back. And then he hears, this is all him hearing. He's going to tell you this right afterwards, but he hears he actually hears the response, because he rolled a 19. Part of the response, that they've been made aware of this situation before, and they're sending in bigger forces to come in and take care of it.
Okay, well, I'm just like, well, this is out of hand. We're not paid for this. We're paid to stop fires. We're not paid to stop this. I tell him, I said, let's go to see if we can go on the ladder safely. 15.
So you can never do it safely. Or was that your perception check?
That's perception.
Okay, so, yay, good roll for perception. So you look down and you just see some people hovering around. You see some news crews starting to come up, and they're like reporting the building. You see officers are starting to line up in the area. Your ladder in particular, it looks like it got hit, and it was knocked partially into behind a bush. The original firefighter who'd gone up it, you could see him down below. People cried around him, dead. He'd been pushed off the ladder by the thing, and y'all never even heard it because y'all's low perception rolls and everything. You see Bell, and Bell just goes, "They said infection." And he looks at his wrist, and he's like, "You go, but I think I have to stay." He's like, "They might have a cure for such said infection." I couldn't hear too much on the walkie-talkie, but he's like, "But if it's an infection, I've been bit."
Okay. Is there anything that I can take from him that will help me?
He came up with that hook thing. Also, he had that fire retardant blanket. He offers you, so he hands you his handy hook, which can be used to reach places you normally couldn't, like they used it to get into like attics and such. That can be combined later with like a rope or something, for a fucking grapple, if that's what you want to get to it. You have a scarf right now, which you tie around it and make a mini like grapple if you trust the fancy scarf. You hear the zombie behind you, or the infected lady, as you know, wake up, and she starts screaming like gutturally, and she's pulling against her bindings, and her bindings hold for now. You see Bill turn around, and he looks, and he sees this like encyclopedia, and he grabs it, and he walks over to her, and he just goes, hits her again, knock her out. And he's like, "Go!" Okay, so you've left world. So as you start going down the ladder, you hear like a raspy, like yelling sound from the other side of the group on the side. Your ladder's going like this down. For perspective, so you guys can see, it's going like this. The group's over here, and you hear the sound from over here. And roll if you see you've seen it.
20.
Holy fuck, we've got a good roll. Roll the multiplier. I want to know every detail. 3. So, okay. So, not only did she look, she saw almost every single thing in existence. It's like time itself had opened up and given her the perfect view that she always asked for. But as she looks, she sees these other people stumbling towards the crowd of people. They look oily, nasty, sweaty, a couple of them missing fingernails.
You see a bunch of burly mechanics.
Heading your way. They look hungry. Time to go to Hardee's! You notice one of them grabbed one of the people that had their back turned and immediately bit them. And that person screamed, and the police in that area turned around and immediately opened fire on the horse that's running their way. This is you on your way down. So everybody's got their direction faced that way. Civilians are now running this way. One of the people that got bit was also running that way. You got other officers, and you see an officer turn around at that one lady that was running who got bit, and he shoots her in the back of the head. Blows her fucking skull out right there in front of everybody. The whole crowd at this point just started going fucking berserk. They took off running. The police officers are trying to hold, and the riot guys are trying to hold what's coming their way. But there's a good 13 or 14 of these things now running at them. You can hear people screaming in other buildings. Other places are starting to already start to turn. Other police cars are now starting to roar down the street, and they're getting out. And they're I mean, this is a big city. Huge city. Bigger than Haran. This is like Dallas size.
So like New York City.
No, I'm not going to go that cliche.
It's
Not
like
everything bad happens in New York, everybody.
NYPD, that's why I'm saying. They're the second biggest task force.
We'll do Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
You're down south because you chose it. She chose Spanish as a second language, so I'm trying to find some way to use it. Texas, Spanish would be for fucking use. So, you're now down into the shrubs, and these other police officers. You roll a 20. I'm giving you the full details here. You see these other cars come through the shrubs, running, doom, cops getting out, people talking to the walkie-talkie, escorting civilians, and they're going, where they escort them away, they're grabbing civilians by the wrist, they're raising them up, they're turning them around looking for any sign of blood. One guy had just scratched himself, he had a red mark on his arm, and that police officer went, shot him. Did not even hesitate. guy had just been scratching himself. And it looked like he'd been slightly cut, and they just shot him. These are all hints that you need to know. Scratches, so like that can get you immediately suspected for being infected. You need notes.
Nope, I don't have any notes. Thank you, DM.
The police are doing the best they can, and it seems like, from your point of view, they're finally getting a grip on things. But you roll a 20 and you roll a 3, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you this. The last thing you're gonna get with your perception before another perception roll is required. You hear the chief, not the chief, but the guy who's the captain who's leading everything right now in there. You hear him state, everything's getting under control, but we need to fall back. We're told to fall back, we need to fall back to the main city. This is lost. You hear that phrase, and you see in the background, police cars start to drive into each other, going bam, and just like them getting out of their car, and they're making barricades, they're blocking off. You see people putting up fences and stuff, so now you've got to start reacting. This is to get close to a quick time event. They're starting to barricade and close portions off of roads. You see certain like people booting cars, so that way it's another barricade in the road. And the police officers are working immediately quick. It's almost like they had a contingency plan already designed for this, designed to handle this type of infection like they almost already knew. That is as much as you can tell from this scenario, and from this point forward, you will be required to roll a perception check or anything else. That was a natural 20 with a multiplier of 3. You deserve a lot of fucking details.
Yeah.
Alright, so roll a d20 to see if you sneak.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so you got a 7. Start to sneak out, and a zombie, like, it notices you, and it starts to stubble your way. Now, you're a big, strong, running bulk. You haven't entered a combat phase yet. You can get away.
Is there anything like a car that I can get up on, like
There's plenty of cars
like a
that put on the
trash,
seats
yeah.
now. It's little littering the streets. A lot of people saw what the police officers were doing, and they were abandoning their homes and running where they're being closed off, trying to get to them. And police officers are doing the exact same thing. They're checking any marks before they let them come through. And it seems like they're creating a barricade.
So is there anywhere I can get a car with something? I just want to get up on top of something where I got the high ground.
Okay. There is a car right there in front of you.
Car. Try to kill them.
Okay, so you get to the car really quick and you have your axe ready. Okay, so roll to see if you have athletics issues here. So you didn't get to the car in time, and the zombie just kind of bumps into the car, crawls around, and it gets in between you and the car. Now, you do have a special action. It's allowed in every encounter, so this is now officially
the pin.
roll for initiative. This is now officially combat. 7. You get the first move.
I'll do that.
We're going to do 10, so you hit. You
13.
hit them. The beginning zombies only have 5 AC. Now you go to pin them. Now you're going to pin them against the neck or the stomach.
The neck.
Okay, so you're pinning them at the neck, and you're slamming them into the car, because that's part of your ability, you have to have that. And you're slamming him against the car by his neck. Okay, so now he needs to survive a strength saving throw. He has to break 12.
12. Okay.
He does not beat a 12. So you run up to him and you just go, and you just pin it as hard as you can by its neck right up to the car, and it just struggles, and but it only rolled an 8, and its head just comes straight off, and its body drops. Now during that struggle, you were noticed by 2 more, and they are a distance away though. Most of the ones that were nearby. Okay, so you turn around and you run to your car. Okay. So while you're running your new perception check, and you don't see anything. Matter of fact, you turn around and you hit your head on the sign that was sitting there, disorienting you and having you run. You're running like this now, and you run. You do not run into any zombies while that happens. Thank fucking God.
Dice is cursed.
So you run full speed, and you don't run into any zombies, and you get to your house. And you're fumbling through your personal keys. You're fumbling down. Roll to see if you get to your keys fast enough for you notice. You found the right key, and you promise yourself when you get done with all this, you're going to get rid of all these keys and get a master key. And you put the lock in, you go into the door, and the room's completely dark. It's your own personal home. You go in, you close the door, and you lock it. This is the last time I will ever tell you that you turned around, closed the door, and locked it. From this point forward, you have to be the one that says if there's any locks, lock it behind you. So you get to that point, everything's closed up behind, and you immediately hear bang, 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 bang in the door, and
I don't think they're gonna break it.
it is a pretty solid door. There's no window in there.
So
It's a metal door too, and you've got a double padlock, so you should be perfectly fine.
I guess I'm like freaking out. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know.
But you have your home in front of you. So
Yeah, so
inside your home, you have a nice, it's a decent home. It's a firefighter's home. It's got all your essentials in it because you don't really go home. You basically live at the other place.
okay, so it's not gonna make any food.
There's going to be food, but it's like preserved food, stuff that actually lasts well, like jerky and stuff like that.
Can I like
Raid your fridge?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get a backpack together. You don't have to worry about actually getting the backpack. I'll magically give you one, or you can put it up your ass like Zelda. Either way, you get yourself 6 more rations.
and I'll fill my water up
Okay, so you go to the thing and put in, fill it up all the way. Go ahead and make yourself a glass, do whatever you want to do.
too. Should I like I mean I don't really know if it's possible to sleep after what you just noticed, but is it possible to like rest?
If you want to go for a rest, go for a rest. Your home is sort of like what we got here at our place here. You got another home next to you, another home next to you. The only difference is it's not in the best neighborhood, so you actually have chains. Wiring at your fucking windows.
Like
and
great.
yes, I mean like in the same asylum type home.
Yeah, but I mean anyone would sort of freaking out, even if it's out there from the safe, they would sort of freaking out. So I mean I don't know if you're actually gonna be able to sleep.
You can try. I'm going to be rolling on your quality of sleep this time around. Alright, so you choose to go to sleep. And you get a decent rest. You lay your head down. You're just, fuck today, man. Fuck today, man. Fuck today. And that's the last thing you're thinking as you pass out. Your alertness is perfect now. You've had something to eat from your fridge. You've had something to drink. And you've gone to sleep. You sleep. Because of your thing, you get a partial rest, but just it's what you're used to as a firefighter. You didn't get a full 8, but you got 6, which is good enough. I consider 6 full 9, even though I really probably shouldn't. That's all I get in life.
Do I have any like knives I can use as like foreign weapons?
You were never much of a cook, so you don't really have any. You have butter knives. You do vaguely remember having a butter knife that was kind of twisted and gnarly, and you're thinking about the future, and you might use it as a lockpick, so you can add a lock to your inventory.
Can I make like a like whenever you fight you have like little bandages on your hands?
Sure.
Maybe to protect my wrist.
I'll say you have something in your medical department that lets you do that. So on your arms and your hands, you're going to put protective gauze. Get in there. You put on your worker's boots, not your firefighter's boots. Your firefighter boots they're no use to you right now. The worker boots are actually steel toe, and they give you 1 AC.
Do I have any tools?
I will roll to see, because your type of character might have that type of stuff. You do have some standard tools, a standard tool pack that you can take with you. Standard tools, and you don't have to write all this with it. Standard tools are always like wrench, screwdrivers of different types, but it's not refined tools. Refined tools would be like jewelers, screwdrivers, stuff like that. A jeweler screwdriver can be subjected to lockpicking well. So if you ever get like a finer tool pack, that could be jeweler screwdrivers, and you can use it.
Like a hammer or a crowbar?
That's a very good question. It's a very good one. I'll leave that one to a dice roll as well. No, you do not have that stuff there. You have it at your work.
Do I have a car?
Your vehicle was left at work. You have keys. Your work is past the barrier. So you open up your end table because you remember distinctly having one when you first moved in. And you opened it up and you're digging through all this stuff. You're like, man, it's been years since I've been through this. And oh, look, it's a partially updated map. Map of Dallin. We'll just call it Dallin.
TV? Can I check the news to see maybe where there's...
That is a very smart idea. Let's go see if you still have power in this block. Yes, you still have power. So you go, you turn on television. This is CBC News, and I'm here saying that I'm way too important to be there. We lost a few of our field operatives today. They went out to the house known as the Delaney House. Now, we marked in human history as we lost yet 2 or 3 more of our members. We had a helicopter down in the process as well, and it seems the police officers are engaging in quarantine routines. They have constructed a barricade in the area. The construction is almost complete. They are now letting certain civilians pass across and are in intense screening. You may watch this, but it's getting graphic, and it shows people like getting screened, and then just seeing like scabs on them and getting shot immediately, and they're just pushing bodies back over the edge. And piles of bodies are big. I mean, you can go there with a broken arm, and they'd still kill you. For those of you who are wishing to flee past the barricade, if you're going to have the barricade and you have any injuries at all, any scratches, bites from animals, or anything at all, you need to have medical history showing that the bites were before a week from yesterday, because the infection officially started a week from yesterday, but it has been uncovered now, live. I'll give it back to you. You heard it here, CBN News. But being a firefighter, you have scars and marks on your body, some of them being fresh from a previous fire that you had gone to help. You'd have to find medical records, which you do have, but they're at work behind the barricade. So you would have to sneak through the barricade or leave the city through infected portions, or try to plead yourself with them, and they'll probably just shoot you.
So how far is my work away?
Your work is actually 4 blocks away from the nearest barricade.
So I can either go back to work or go try to get out of town some other way.
Now, the hospital, where a copy of your records would be, I'm going to go ahead and say this, is outside of the barricade. Easily overrun by the hospital. The first place anybody goes to start something like that. So, you have the option to leave the place and travel through intensely infested area, or go to a place that's intensely infested, or try your luck with the quarantine area, where they're just killing people for broken bones and scratches.
Let's try to go back to my work area. I'm a firefighter. Don't I have like an ID or something with my picture on it? Like, this is me.
You decided to go running forth, and you're leaving your home. So you've left your home. Anything special when you want to leave it?
Trying to look out my door.
You want to look up the
barricade? The people in
okay,
the door.
So do a perception check. There is nothing there. You can see.
What is the rating?
Yeah, they're graded.
Unless I have like I don't. I'm pretty sure I don't. Have like another way to get out, like downstairs or where I can leave the window or something like that. Yeah, I'll just leave it up.
We're starting to lose our lighting! No!
So I slowly open the door.
Slowly open the door, chain still up, I'll even give you that. And you look. Roll a perception check. With advantage.
14.
Roll again.
14.
Yeah, 14 it is. You don't see anything. You got an advantage because you looked prior. And you knew there was nothing there, so you got an advantage on it. You looked again, and you still don't see anything. You actually don't even hear anything anymore. It is ghost quiet out there. There used to be kids that played in the playground that was actually right across the area, and all you hear is the wind going a little bit and paper bags flying.
I'll take the chain down and slowly proceed outward.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that there's nothing.
The last time I'm going to remind you, make sure to lock your fucking door. Just in case nothing, just any people go into your home.
Okay, well, I will go out. I'm still leaving. I'm still in the process of
She's being very careful. That's
I'm
really
looking
smart.
left and looking right. I'm guessing I'm like down a hallway or something. Am I down a hallway?
No, you're right out there on the main block.
Okay.
Like, you got the main road right in front of you.
I will slowly, look at my surroundings before I decide to turn around and lock it.
Okay. So as you turn to lock it, roll to find your key. Because you got a big key ring. Okay, so you found it really quickly, and you plug it in, you close the door. Oh, shing! So it's deadly quiet outside, and you can go left or you can go right. So you head down the block and you go to the first block. Now you're in navigation, something you haven't heard in this one. Navigation mode in this one is a lot different than actual D&D. D&D, you have a navigator. You obviously know where you're going. So I need you to roll for each block you're passing. So you got 4 blocks to go through. Your first block roll, please.
20.
That covers the next 2 blocks. That handled 1 extra block. So you've got 2 blocks handled already. You rolled an 18, got 3 blocks going. You got 1 more block to the barricade. Okay, she didn't have to deal with anything. It was bare and quiet, and there was nothing to deal with. You hear gunshots in the far distance, but it seems like the zombies are not incredibly stupid. They know this area is no longer safe than being. You can see the people in the towers with rifles, fucking just looking in the distance, trying to find something to shoot. You get to the barrier, and your firefighter protocol steps in, letting you know to stand away. You raise your hand up, you speak, and the guy at the gate says, "Name." Firefighter. Identification, please. So you step forward cautiously and have the badge. And as soon as you're handing, he's like, "Hey, throw it over." Roll a strength check.
19.
So you throw it clean over.
Now all of my high rolls are coming into play when I don't really need them.
Right? So he grabs it and he runs through. I see you had medical work 3 weeks ago for a fire. I'm going to need you to stand in for examination. Please stand over here. You move over. And he's like, all right. He's like, I don't know how else to say this, but I need you to strip. At least partially. Expose the marks. So you take time. So, no nudity! No nudity! The marks, they don't see anything else after that point. They don't see anything fresh. And they state, well, it looks like you're clear to go. Please come through. They open up the latch, and you hear.
Okay, so I rolled a 1. Something's bad happening. What's happening?
Okay, so you hear in the background, you just hear a scream, and immediately the officers in the top towers start unloading. They start firing. And the officer who's about to let you in immediately starts urging you to come now. So you come in, he closes the gate. He's like, help. He throws you a bar, and you need to start help barring things up. So roll if you're barring things up. Okay, that's good enough. You put up another bar. Roll again. How many rolls can you get in? Roll again.
8.
Roll again. Okay, so that's all the time you got. It was time for 4 rolls. So you're bar, and you see this group, a mass body of them just come running full speed. I mean, the fastest you've ever seen, and they just slam against the barricade. Luckily, with your little bit of help, the barricade partially held, started to break a little bit. The Humvee comes pulling up, and they're like, fall back! People start falling back, and they pull forward, and you see a construction worker truck come up, start flipping cars up, and start picking up cars and placing them in stacks in front. The Humvee sticks its gun through the middle, and just starts going. It's now completely all you can hear is screaming, anger. The person who lets you in there goes, I need you to go, unless you want to stay and help. It's up to you whether you help them or not. Start to help.
Maybe he'll give me a good favor.
You will. So roll.
15.
Roll.
8.
5. So you were successful in helping at 2 out of 3. So you're putting up those barbed wire on that, and then this other guy goes, hey. You're a firefighter, not a construction worker. You've been a lot of help. I appreciate it, but we're going to take it over here. You just, this would have gave away. And he pulls it, fixes the one that you messed up on, and he goes, puts it in. And he's there, goes, talk to the other officer that you just helped. And you went to him, and he's like, look, thank you so much for your help. Let me see your badge. He takes it and he scans it, and he goes, puts it on there, and then hands you a walkie-talkie that directly goes to the chief of police of the DPD, which is the Dallin Police Department. The army soldier walks up to you and goes, thank you. He lost a couple people in that exchange. The wiring came back and impaled a couple of his own people whenever it got slammed because they were pushing up against it, trying to hold it. You see the surge of zombies just dissipate into buildings again. They tell you to go talk to to a couple of doctors. They redirect you to 10. You get to the doctors are like, yes, what's your emergency? Right, I have an emergency, but
I don't have an emergency. I need to go.
Your name?
Same road.
She pulls out a pad. Fireman, identification. That card is becoming the most important thing. She scans it. She's like, you assisted in, well, what just went down? So, yes, and she goes back and she pulls this. I know this is not something I wouldn't did normally, but considering your case and what you're going down, I'm giving you some medical supplies here. You're going to have a, she goes, here, I'm giving you a scalpel, and she handles you a sterile syringe, and she handles you 2 medkits. She explains that she can't give any more. She wants to give more, but there's a scientist in the area that they almost lost, that is working on a cure. This gentleman was last heard of down Baker Street. Every city has a Baker Street, which is about a mile or 2 from here. He radioed in about a fight, and we're still waiting for contact.
Side mission.
You get to your work, and it's been ransacked. Like, there was some looting before the police officially were able to run off the looters. Most of the looters have run past the barricade, so that is a plus. Well, plus for you and potential negative for anybody outside the barricade. They might survive, they might die, it's going to be like Last of Us out of nowhere. But you get to your stuff, and your room is like jarred in. Roll a strength check.
4, 5. Well, 5.
Plus 2, plus 1, 8, going into 7. So you bust it open, and inside your room is going to be trashed. Whoever came through there and trashed it, I'm guessing the police came in, they tried to bar it up or whatever, and they got caught still. So you go in there and you're going through your stuff, and you're looking for anything that might be of use. You find a flashlight, 8 batteries. Your crowbar was taken, part of the thing they were going to use for looting. You basically don't find anything of use anymore. Like everybody. Your car was outside of the building. When you go to your car outside of the building, somebody looked like they tried to break in and stole everything that was inside the car. But your car itself is still drivable. Its right side passenger seat is windows broken. I would recommend you take the time to steal that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you look around in the area, roll for scavenging. Plus 6.
That's a 9.
So you got 15. You find reinforced piece of metal, like it came from part of the barricades they were doing, with some barbed wire still attached to it. You were able to secure it. Okay, now roll for intelligence. This is part of the mechanically inclined part. Roll for intelligence. 9 again. So just smart enough, you realize that the compartment itself, you go to 10, it actually fit into the window part. And whenever you rolled up the window, the bar that would hold the window in place and lock it in place actually locked it in place. So you have secured a metal slab with this tiny little hole, the barb on the outside of the car. Whenever your car was looted, your controls in your car's dashboard were wiped out. Your mileage still works. Your gas part does not. You do remember it being 3/4 full for your manual. And then you open it up and you see that your car gets 33 miles per gallon on highway, 17 gallon, 12-gallon tank. Your trunk space, as a note, is 20 items. Very small trunk. That's the most complicated part about this game. You got your stuff, and you recall back the memory about the scientist who's come up with the cure and where he's at. You pull up the walkie-talkie. This is story mode is set in. Okay, so you pull up the walkie-talkie and you immediately contact the police. And you tell them you would like to pursue going after and get this guy that you and a team or you yourself can go, but you need to be able to get your vehicle outside if you plan to use your vehicle. He informs you that there is a spot that they can let your vehicle out, but he does not recommend you using a vehicle in town. That is solely up to you. You have the opportunity. So the chief of police congratulates you and thanks you for your assistance, and thanks you for your time going to that house and how you handled things. Regrettably, things were out of control. He apologizes for your friend Bill, who was actually really close to you. You've worked with him for 10 years. So, thank you, Excel. You did everything right. So, this is a good stopping point. This has been a one-shot campaign, and we have another storyline for the next one. I want to say thank you, everybody, for watching this video. So, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like down below, and make sure to smash that subscribe button. I mean, just click it.
Smash.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was great.
Can't wait till the next one. Okay, well.
Thank you for watching. Fuck off!